Guys, I fucked up. I could have been sitting on a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean, smoking cigars, drinking cocktails, and having an amazing time. But instead, I sold my Bitcoin too early. So, what I want to share with you in this video is a bit more of a personal story, but also a lesson that you don't end up in the same situation in a few years from now saying, I wish I had, or I should have, or I could have, right? Because that's exactly what happened to me. So, I first heard of Bitcoin in about 2014. Actually, that's not true. I actually read about Bitcoin in some computer magazine way earlier. It must have been 2010, 2011. And I thought it was interesting, and I actually tried to find out how this actually worked. So I went to Google, I typed it in a little bit, and I read the stuff about you have to download a wallet and store a private key and all this stuff. And it was way too complicated back then. So I was just like, okay, I just forget about it. It's probably some stupid thing, right? Obviously not a good idea. But then in late 2014, early 2015, so I was paying attention to the Bitcoin boom in 2013 when it ran up to $1,100, and I was like, wow, this is absolutely insane. It's just going up. And then I watched it fall all the way back down again to under $200 actually. And just after that point, I'm like, hey, maybe I'm just gonna buy some Bitcoin again, because I had some friends who were buying it and they seem to believe in it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just join along. I had some extra money at the time, so I'm like, okay, I might as well. Like, what's the worst that could happen? It could go to zero. So early 2015, I bought about $15,000 worth of Bitcoin, or at approximately $250 per Bitcoin. So I got about 60 BTC. I still didn't know what it was. I didn't understand the financial system. I had no idea what fiat currency was. I had no idea why the inevitable was going to happen with fiat currencies, where they continue to print and it's just going to devalue. And ultimately, what goes up in value are assets, stocks, precious metals, real estate. And I had no idea about the concept of sound money and what Bitcoin actually was. I just thought it was this new trend or this new fad back at the time, right, in 2015. I didn't dive into it too much. And I basically just bought it and I kind of forgot about it. And this was the long bear market period in 2015, right? 2015 to late 2016. And basically nothing happened. It traded sideways. So let's have a look here on the chart. This was basically when I got involved. So here is the chart of Bitcoin, all right? Late 2013, this was the big run up. This is when I saw it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I watched it drop here to under $200. It was a spike for sure, but it did go kind of low. And then it just kept on going lower, 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 lower. And then at this point, somewhere around here, I ended up purchasing the Bitcoin because, I did know a little bit about Forex and stocks. And, when something is retraced that much, I thought, well, there's a good chance at some point it's probably going to retest those highs of $1,100 again. So, like I said, I had some extra money. I bought some Bitcoin. And I thought it was going to go up. But again, I didn't know what Bitcoin was, why it was so good. It was, I didn't go into that detail of understanding what the potential of this was. So I just bought it and held it and kind of forgot about it. And, time went on. You can see it did pretty much nothing here. So it went on, it went sideways, sideways, sideways for more than a year. And then it started, here again, it's kind of sideways still. And I just kind of lost interest in it for whatever reason. And then it started to pick up again, and I believe somewhere around over here, just over $500, I decided, hey, I'm up, double my money. I'm going to sell all my Bitcoin for about $500, and hey, I doubled my money. That's pretty cool. And usually for any type of investment, 100% gain in a period of a year, 2 years, it was about a year and a half, right? That's a really good ROI. Now, of course, I only put a little bit of money into it, like I said, so it wasn't huge life-changing money or anything like that, but 100% is pretty decent. So little did I know we were about to have this massive run-up. I thought, that would be insane to even just, go back to the all-time highs, but look at this, like $20,000. I would never have imagined this when it was trading over here. So, then it came all the way back down, obviously, and now we're back at $16,000. And I think there's a really good chance we will set new all-time highs over the coming years. I think there's a real chance we might actually see $50,000, $100,000 per Bitcoin, which still seems kind of insane right now, but the track record is there. The institutional money is coming in. And, I actually think there's a really, really good chance. So, 60 Bitcoin, let's get out the calculator right now. 60 Bitcoin times 16,000 right now is $960,000. Divided by 15, that would have been a 64x on my initial money from 2015 had I held those coins. And obviously, 60 Bitcoin, imagine it goes to 100,000. Well, it would be $6 million that I wouldn't have because I sold my Bitcoin too early. Now, the lesson over here is don't sell your crypto too early, okay? It can literally be life-changing money. And like you saw, it was just $15,000 that I put in 2015. That is not a huge amount of money. Now, that might be a lot of money to you right now. I'm not saying it's not a lot of money. You can put in less, right? You can put in $1,000. 5, 10, but you don't have to put in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to turn this into life-changing retirement type money if this goes in the direction that I think it's going to go, right? So obviously I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do with your money. You make your own decision, but I'm sharing this story with you from my own experience so that you can learn from it and hopefully not have to repeat it. This isn't some sort of theoretical like, oh, if only I would have gone back in time and bought Bitcoin at this price. No, I actually bought it, but I didn't hold it, right? So as we can see, a lot has changed since 2015. The world has changed dramatically. By now, you should probably know about fiat currency and how central banks are just printing so much of it, which is devaluing the purchasing power. This is only going to continue. It's going to get worse and worse, meaning that, people are just going to take their fiat currency, their dollars, their euros, their pounds, and they're going to put it into other assets, especially since banks are now at a negative saving rate. So you're going to even have to pay. I think in a Dutch bank, ABN AMRO, if you are going to keep more than 500,000 euros in the bank, you have to pay 0.5%, right? So people with money, what do you think they're going to do with their money? They're going to invest it more, maybe into the stock market, but they're already at all-time highs, so the risk of downside there is high. Real estate, yep, sure. Precious metals, yeah, sure. But crypto is this small and emerging asset class. It's under $500 billion. This has the potential to go to 5 trillion, 10 trillion, 20, 30 trillion over the coming years. So like you saw, 5 years ago, what $15,000 could have turned into like $1 million. I still think there's potential for that kind of stuff to happen, but maybe not with Bitcoin. Sure, Bitcoin could still 5, 10x maybe over time, right? Which would still be pretty decent, but that's not that kind of ROI. But I think there is enormous potential with altcoins to get those kind of life-changing gains, but it won't be around forever, okay? If the crypto market gets that big, if it gets to 5 trillion, 10, 20 trillion dollars, then these kind of exponential gains aren't going to be around anymore, and you're not going to have that potential to turn 5,000 into 500,000 potentially, right? Or 10,000 into 1 million, that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm saying, right? I'm like, this is a chance, an opportunity that we still have. You still have this chance to learn from my mistake. I still have this chance, right? And I'm not saying buy Bitcoin. I'm not too sure if even buying Bitcoin at $16,000. Yes, maybe for the long term, like I said, 5, 10x, which is obviously still huge. But if you're really looking for those life-changing gains, I think that's going to be in altcoins. In Ethereum, maybe there's people talking about $5,000 to $10,000 for Ethereum, but again, that's only a 10 to 20x. It's only, I'm talking about only 10 to 20x. Like that's ROIs most people will dream of in any other asset class. But there are other cryptocurrencies that literally have 50, 100, 200x potential, right? We saw that earlier this year with the cryptocurrency Lend. It went from half a cent to 90 cents, okay? It did a 200x in a period of a year. Means $1,000 can turn into $200,000 with that specific coin. And I think we're going to see that over and over again. So I'm saying here, this is a chance for people who are watching this right now, and please subscribe to the channel below if you are watching it. Give it a thumbs up because I'm sharing all this content about this. But this is really an opportunity where you can turn $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 into potentially life-changing money. And my personal thought is here, put that in and keep it keep it for the next couple of years, because you saw what happened in the last 5 years. I got a bit unlucky with that timing, but at 20K, that would have been worth over $1 million within 2 years of doing that. So who knows, if we get another massive bull market in 2021, we could see 50, 100x returns by next year. But even if it takes another 5 years, right? It's not a replacement for a full-time income. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna just take an irresponsible bet on cryptocurrency and I'm gonna pray that it's gonna make me rich, right? There is still a very real risk that coins could go to zero. The risk was there in Bitcoin in 2015. It's here with altcoins, and it's a volatile asset class. But everything, like all the videos I've been making on this channel, talking about how institutional money is coming in, crypto is being offered by PayPal, banks are getting involved. Like, the world is moving into this digital kind of era. We've already been there, but this transition is there. We've had the internet infrastructure built out over the last 20, 30 years. And now, in my opinion, I think we're heading into this digital money, digital asset type infrastructure. And that's what's busy being built out right now with the altcoins. Okay, so if there are solid projects that you can get in early, and I've mentioned several of them here on the channel in my videos, but there are coins that really, I think, have potential to do 50, 100, 200x. And even putting $500 or $1,000 into a coin like that could potentially be life-changing, right? It could turn into 100 grand, 200 grand, who knows, maybe even more. And like I said, if you do this in such a way that you're completely responsible with it, single-digit percentages of your net worth, or maybe just disposable income that you have every month. If you have an extra $500 or $1,000 in a month that you can somehow scrape together, or you have it available, right? Instead of going out and eating out, or instead of partying, or instead of spending it on useless subscriptions that you don't really get value for, and you take that money and instead of spending it on those things, you just put it into crypto every single month, $500, $1,000, right? You don't really lose anything. You can maybe sell stuff that you have lying around the house. Maybe you have, old furniture, old bicycles, old computers. Who knows? Sell that, put it into crypto. So you're not really risking anything. You're not risking your retirement, your savings, your rent payments, anything like that. You're being completely responsible. But just being able to get a few $1,000s into cryptocurrency and just having that on the side as an asymmetric bet in case it takes off, which personally I think there's a good chance over the next years. Some cryptocurrencies are just going to be massively higher than where they are today. And that basically gives you a shot at creating some real life-changing wealth, freedom, retirement money, whatever it is that you want, purely as a side bet, without having to do any work, without building a business, without, like working in a career for 20 years to upgrade your level and your promotion and all that kind of stuff. Like, this is a shot where, one smart investment could potentially turn into money that you wouldn't make in 20, 30 years of working, right? So I think it's definitely a bet worth taking. For me personally, it is. So I wanted to share this with you so you could really learn from these mistakes, right? Like, people make mistakes, and if you learn from other people's mistakes, you can get ahead much quicker. Now, this is a mistake that I made. Sure, it hurts, but I've learned from it. I think we're still early, and I think we have the potential to really still go up, which is why, okay, of course it sucks. I would have liked to have kept it, but I think there's still that chance with altcoins, so I'm not too worried, and I'm confident, and I want to learn from my mistake, and I want to share that mistake with as many people as possible so that you watching this right now can potentially also have success with that, and not be thinking a few years from now, oh, if only I had bought some, whatever the coin is that you want to buy, I could have been retired by now, because that's literally the process, right? That's literally like I could have had an extra $1 million right now simply by just having held on. That's it. I wouldn't have had to work for it. All I had to do was just buy and wait. That's it. Buy and hold, keep it, and all these people also talking about trading and leverage and this and that. And sure, there's people who do that, and there's a very small percentage who are actually successful with it long term. The easiest thing you need to do with any investment is just be early, buy in, hold it long enough, and let the market and the cycles do the work for you, and then cash out when everyone starts getting crazy about it, or once you hit your 50 or 100x, or whatever the case is. So I've made a lot of videos on this channel about coins that I believe in. You can just go to my my homepage for the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing below. It's completely free, so you get these updates. You can see over here, this one is a good one, my 5 top potential 30x altcoins. And I've got reviews of crypto projects over here, NFT projects, crypto passive income, Icon, Phantasma, Centivate. You know, these are all projects that I've reviewed over here to show potential. So go and check out the channel. And if you want my help with this and you want my experience and my guidance, I do have a crypto membership. I publish a monthly newsletter every single month where I share research on a new cryptocurrency project that I think has a lot of potential. I share my insights, I share my personal buy and sell movement, my coin holdings, and we've got a private chat group where, you know, I'm active in there every single day, helping members out in real time, sharing more information, you know, and we're all part of that. So if you want to learn more about that, it's intelligentcryptocurrency.com. It's the first link in the description below. So for this month, until the 30th of November 2020, the price is a lifetime one-time fee, join fee. Basically meaning there's no renewals, no future subscriptions. Once you're in and you join now before the end of November, you're going to be able to get access to all the future updates to the program, you know, for free. There's not going to be anything. So after the 30th of November, I'm upping the price, and it's going to be an annual renewal fee. So right now, if you want to learn about this, you want access to everything, completely risk-free, by the way, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you can join if you don't like it, you know, let me know, get your money back within 60 days. But other than that, right now is the best time to sign up. So, you know, let me help you. Let me share what I've learned. You can see I've been in the space for a while. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm sharing those mistakes with you so that you can have better success and not have to repeat those mistakes that I've already made. So again, if you want to check that out, intelligentcryptocurrency.com. It's the first link in the description below. I would love to have you as part of the community. Like I said, completely risk-free. Try it out, 60 days. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, I give you your money back in full. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with as many people as you can. Smash the like button, it really helps the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel below. Leave a comment if you have any questions or thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.